This will call the Sanger City Council to regular session on Monday, December 1st, 2025. If you will, please rise for the invocation to be led by Councilman Bilyeu, followed by the pledge to be led by Councilman Burris.
Please remove your hats and join me in a quick prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we just thank you as we gather here tonight. We thank you for the time that you've given us, the time to spend with family, friends, and loved ones, and the time for us to gather this evening to address the issues that face our community. Just so thankful for this town, this community, and this great state. And as we address issues that do face our community, I just pray that you will grant us wisdom and pray that we may do your will in our decisions. I ask these things in Jesus Christ's name. Amen. Amen. Please face the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. The first item on our agenda, as usual, is our citizens' input time. This is a time where anyone who wishes to speak on an item not on the agenda is welcome to do so. And council cannot respond back and forth to you because we have to post all of our deliberations ahead of time, but we can be all ears, as can staff. We do have a citizens input form back there we would ultimately like to get from you just so we can document your comments and have them for the record, but that shouldn't prohibit you from coming forward at this time if you'd like to do so. We normally allow about 3 minutes for this, each person. Is there anybody wishing to come forward during the citizens input time? Okay, seeing no one coming forward, council, you have your consent agenda. There's 4 items there. There's some action pursuant to our ordinances relating to terminating active campaign, hangover campaign treasurer appointments. And there's minutes from November 17th of 25. There's resolution updating the purchasing policy, and there's a hail damage repairs item from the September 21st storm event. As always, you're welcome to pull an item if you'd like to discuss that or comment on it at all. We'd be happy to pull an item, and if not, I would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda, whatever your preference is.
Unless someone has an objection, I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Okay, do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay. I've got a motion by Councilman Bilyeu, seconded by Councilman Burris, to approve the consent agenda as presented. All in favor indicate by raising your hand. Passes unanimously. Thank you. Primary action item tonight is the consideration and possible action to renew the annual facility use agreement between the City of Sanger and the Farmer's Wife North Texas LLC, DBA Downtown Sanger Farmers Market, and authorize the city manager to execute said agreement. So, right?
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Ryan Knowlton, Park and Recreation Department. About the same time last year, we approved the first facility use agreement between the City of Sanger and the Downtown Farmers Market. Tonight, we are renewing one of the 3 renewals that are in the agreement. They are 1-year renewals. Farmers Market operates 10 months out of the year, the first and third weekend of each month, beginning mid-March and running through November. The market has operated within the terms of the agreement which is attached, with no reported issues. The one item that's on the agreement that's different from last year is the price goes up from $250 to $2,500 to $5,000 annual agreement, with the first installment due at $1,250 per quarter. All items in the terms of this and conditions are agreed upon, and no other issues. In your packet, you have the current downtown farmers market facility use agreement and the 2026 schedule. Amber Whitworth with the farmers market is here to talk about the 25 farmers market, and we'll turn it over to her.
Great, thank you. Thanks for coming out.
It's good to see you guys again.
Yeah?
Okay, so I was just gonna review last year with you really quickly and then discuss some possible concerns. So thank you for this opportunity and for giving us a chance to go ahead and renew this for the 2026 year. To recap, we had a total of 138 total vendors this past year. That was total, not all at once. Back in September, we won the top 3 in the state of Texas in a national farmers market competition. So that was pretty cool. And then I have the market averages here. You guys should have gotten one. If any of you guys want one, they're on the table. I have all of the dates listed for the past year. The green is Sunday, white is Saturday, and the yellow is all moonlight markets. So I guess overall, some concerns that we have, attendance has declined a lot. For our very first market, March 15th, we had about 977 attendees. And our very last Saturday market, we had about 310, which is kind of a lot, but if you look at the one before that, it was 182. I kind of think that one just because it was the last one of the season. Our Sunday markets are barely hanging on, and I'm concerned with the $5,000, the next year's pay, because I don't know if we'll be able to pay for it, essentially, because attendance is declining and therefore our vendors are declining. One of our biggest vegetable vendors he quit coming to the market. He said he's not making enough money. So he said maybe he'll see us next year. So hopefully. And then we have food trucks that are not attending to the market due to the permit cost with the city of Sanger. I don't know if you guys know this, but the food truck cost for a food truck to attend, a temporary food truck, is $125 for one event, and a 6-month permit, let's say at our city of Justin, is $75. So I can't get food trucks to come to the market because of that. If you'll look on, let's see, I marked down all of the times that food trucks did attend the farmers market, and the attendance was actually really high. So all of the moonlight markets had food trucks, and then one food truck came on a Sunday, so July 20th. There was 292 people that showed up. That's the second highest attendance we've had on a Sunday market before. So food trucks definitely help. So that's one concern that I have, is just the permitting is really high. That's something that you guys would have to deal with. I just wanted to bring it to your attention. Yes, sir?
The permit, the 125, is that for Saturday and Sunday, or does it cover both days?
I think it was per event, so that would have been, last I asked,
Should cover
it
it.
should have covered both, yeah. And then another concern that we had was the porta potties. In our contract, it's required that we have 2 porta potties for each event. There's businesses around that have said that it was okay for people to use the facilities. It's $500 a month for the farmers market to use or to bring the porta potties. And then if you'll see our very last market, we had 190 people show up. Those didn't get used. So that was just something that I wanted to also bring to your attention, that possibly we could maybe look into. Maybe I can, depending on how many vendors we have, the porta potties accordingly, sorry. But my main concern is the $5,000 for next year. I wanted to see if we might consider just doing the 2,500 again this year. Thank you. That's all I have. Do y'all have any questions?
Yeah, Amber, if you don't mind. So we've had people come in the past that wanted to do like ice cream, or I'm sorry, snow cone stands.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, they needed to have several things like that. People that wanted to have barbecue stands, they didn't have all the facilities. You know, you're still supposed to have those things for the public, but what they did is they got agreements from those businesses and presented it that yes. So anyone can say right now that they would let people come, but that still doesn't cover you in the requirement for bathrooms. But if you had businesses that were willing to say, yes, they can use our facilities, I know that that's been taken in consideration in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So that, and you said that could save you $500 a month.
Yeah.
So things like that, if there are other businesses, local businesses that are partner with you in some way, but there is some type of agreement in place, that
Yeah.
may be able to cut down on your expenses. Does that make sense?
It does. It's just it's in the contract that we have to have 2 porta potties and a hand washing station. But yes, I do. It was
I
discussed.
know,
in the
now's not
past.
the time to, I mean, for us to try to renegotiate a whole bunch of
Yeah,
that stuff,
that's-
but I'm saying in the future, there's been some considerations for things like that, if other businesses are willing to take a piece of the requirement.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Okay.
and if you had a business that said, yes, we will let them use our restrooms and they have it, and that's what needs to be brought to the city in advance to talk about those things.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course.
And I'm sorry we're in the 11th hour
No,
doing
it's-
this, but I didn't realize what the costs were on those porta potties.
Yeah, and they're cutting me a deal too.
And they're what?
They're cutting me a deal too. They sponsored,
Yeah.
so. Anyways.
If those porta potties are generally, you know, dual gender, kind of, I mean, anybody can use them, right?
Mhm.
And especially on the ones if you're running more like 200 to 300. I mean, does it go to 250 if you go to one?
Mhm.
So it's like 250
Yeah.
basically. It's not some flat thing. If they gotta come, it's 500 regardless. It's not anything like that. It actually would cut back if you had one less.
Yes.
The items we're talking about are all health related.
Yeah.
They're the requirements for toilets, requirements for the hand washing station, and the 125 on the food trucks is a pass-through cost on the inspections. We use a third-party health inspector, and it doesn't matter to them if it's a one-day event, a two-day event, or, you know, you're coming in every other weekend for, you know, for 6 months. If it's classified as a temp for the health department,
Yeah.
they charge that. And they don't always show up to inspect. They charge
Yeah,
it,
they don't.
but they don't always show up. But we don't have a lot of control over how they're managing. But that's, that 125 that we charge is a pass-through. It's a third-party expense to us.
Just out of curiosity, there's supposed to be a law change in the state of Texas in June. You've heard about it? Do you know if that's gonna change at all? Like how that's gonna work with Sanger?
What law was it?
The state of Texas has a law change in June of 2026 where food trucks just have to have one like state permit
Right.
and then they can set up wherever.
With that
So,
single permit, it doesn't change the health requirement. It will change who collects it, more than likely. And right now, the state doesn't have the resources, is what we're finding, so we're working through that process now. Hopefully by June, they'll be prepared to pick up that portion, but we don't have any word on exactly how that works right now. We do know that with the most recent law change related to health inspections, we're still carrying regionally. We're still paying the state, people are paying us, and we're paying the state because we're staffed, and they may or may not have been, That's the state's business. May or may not have been staffed at the level they needed for that change when the first one took place. So we're kind of in a pattern. We'll have to wait and see. I would anticipate that cities, municipalities will continue to carry that beyond June for an indeterminate amount of time.
So the yellow ones are the kind of the evening, afternoon, evening kind of items. So they have huge attendance, huh?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
We're actually cutting back and only doing 2 next year.
What's the reasoning behind that, if they're the most successful for you?
Because we've noticed kind of after the Moonlight Market, attendance is really low. And I just didn't feel like it was very fair for some of the vendors who just show up for the Moonlight Markets. And then it was like our regular people who show up. So, of course, our regular people really love it because they sell out a lot, but it's just, attendance was really low afterwards. And they're very expensive to host because I have to do a lot of stuff for it, so.
Council, I don't know if you have other questions or if there's any appetite for adjusting the dollar amount to kind of give consideration to, you know, some, I don't think we should, like, to Councilman Billiou's point, I don't think we should deal with the minutia of, like, maybe the porta potties deal and those kind of things, but we could adjust for it slightly in the annual pricing if it was council's pleasure, or we can stay the course as I think we were given the initial startup to try to get you up and off your feet and giving you that. So,
I have a process question.
yep.
So normally we're, like you said, we don't really get into minutia of contract details, right? Generally staff does that part and then presents the final thing. So like, is this the first time staff is hearing any of these suggestions? Or like, is this the first discussion happening about?
Yes, I'm just bringing it to everybody's attention. I am okay if that's what we have to do going forward. I just want to bring it to everybody's attention. The biggest thing is just the cost for next year. I don't know if we're going to be able to pull it off, honestly.
Okay. So I don't want to, how do I say this nicely? There are multiple of us here. So is there an option to let maybe you talk with staff directly and kind of work through, like, can we give a 30-day extension on the current agreement and then bring it back maybe in January, or how does that work?
I mean, the council can do as they see fit. If you'll remember, when we entered this agreement the first year, all the details were laid out that first year.
Yeah.
And there was the reduction given in that instance with the understanding that it would go up this year.
Correct.
Yeah.
If you guys want to, staff would not recommend a change on the porta potties and sinks until you have something absolutely solid on that.
Right.
The price, that's really up to you guys. The thing you run into is that we have 23 dates that we're reserving that park for. So there, again, when that was crafted originally, it's at a much reduced price as to what you would rent a facility for. So, but again, if the council feels, that we're reducing that price again this year, it's not anything that's gonna, kill us, but it is something that you want to be cognizant of, is that you're reserving a spot, whether the market makes or not.
Just like anyone can reserve the Civic Center or this building or whatever, right? Okay.
Can I make a point? I actually, on the side at the bottom, we only use the park under half of the time. All the rest of the time was in that empty lot.
But they've reserved the park for those additional dates. And again, I think we all want them to succeed.
Right.
There's no question
Absolutely.
about that.
No, I think it's been a huge benefit, and do you think attendance, and I'm seeing that I mean, if you take the first day, 977, and go to the last day, 190, that looks like a big drop, but it was incremental over time. And those moonlight events, there's thousands of people showing up.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm wondering, is it a marketing thing? I mean, for people, because they always knew that you were out by the highway, and then you moved here. Is the word getting out? Do people know?
I think so. At the beginning of the market, I always hand out those little magnets that have the date on it. I mean, I always advertise at least 2 weeks in advance. I would say yes. But next year I do actually, oh, that was something else I was gonna talk to y'all about. Next year I do have plans to, market more. So I'm gonna go out to businesses and hand out brochures and all that jazz. And then also future plans for next year, I am going to try and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to pull it off financially, probably not, but we're gonna fix that lot and get rid of the concrete and possibly get sod or grass and then put a mural on that wall as well. So hopefully that will help bring people into.
And so do you partner with the chamber at all on this to market, to get the word out?
Sometimes for those bigger events, I do send out flyers and stuff for them. And I know they had the schedule posted in their window.
Because
So,
I've gotten a lot of feedback from some of the local business owners, and when you had the first moonlight, they said it was their best day of the year. And so I know there's it's not just wanting you to succeed, but it's going to spread to everyone else. So can we talk specifically about the park? If you're not going to use it, if you know you're not going to use that, if you reserve it, that means nobody else can, or so on and so forth. So that's where it kind of puts us in a quandary. So if you know you're not going to use that, can you revise that schedule and not reserve it? Is that an option?
it honestly just depends on how many vendors I have. I get it. I understand the point. It just depends on how many vendors I have.
Sure.
I can't put people with trailers in the park.
Yeah.
If I didn't have people with trailers, I'd probably use the park the entire time because of just the state of that lot, but.
Well, I want you to think about that in future consideration,
Yeah.
because I think all of us here want you to succeed, and I think it's been worthwhile to the city. But if you know you're not going to use it, and we know ahead of time, that gives other people, that's what puts us
Yeah.
in somewhat of a quandary. And listen, I would be willing to reduce your fees for one more year, but that'll be 2 years, and I think that surely you'd be able to get the marketing and everything, and hopefully get people to come out. I mean, people come out, but if they don't open their wallets and buy, your vendors aren't going to come back and get it. It's tough.
Well, I will say, we just opened up a market in Justin this year, and that market's taken off.
Yeah.
It's taken off. People in Justin, it's the support in Sanger is just, I don't know. Sanger's one of the ones that, what would you say, Garrett? Sanger, how is Sanger's going compared to all the other ones? Yeah. It's really sad too.
It is, because everywhere I hear of these popping up, they're
Yeah.
doing extremely well.
Yeah.
So are they meeting as often as what you do here?
No, they're not. They're once a month. But I mean,
And do you think that it would be different if you reduced your schedule
Possible.
and concentrated on those a few more days? Maybe have better turnout?
yeah. That's something for the future.
So I'm not trying to tell you how to run,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to how to
Yeah.
run your schedule, but if there's a farmer market and I'm in a small town, I always stop. I do. And I don't always remember that it's going on. It's always after
Yeah.
thought. And I'll admit that. So if it was a certain, once a month or twice a month, I'd have that on my calendar, I promise. I promise.
Council, if I might give a reminder real quick too, because there was talk about revising the schedule. Keep in mind that the park it gives them the ability to run the market because your zoning did not allow for outdoor markets.
Right.
The park is kind of the linchpin in your farmer's market.
Yeah.
Until the other space is built out,
Which could be years.
which could be a long time, but that's the intent for the other space,
Yeah, our
right?
space, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
You were talking about the vendors, and Councilman Bill, you asked, as far as how many, so do you have all your vendors? I mean, surely they sign up ahead of time, but you don't truly know they're gonna be there until they show up.
Yeah,
Right.
essentially. There's quite a few vendors that, they'll they're feeling sick or something came up, or a lot of it I've noticed is they don't make sales, and so they sign up for that date, and then last minute they just tell me they're not coming.
And they don't pay you if they don't show up?
Correct.
Okay. All right. That's all right, that answered my question.
Yeah, the Justin Eric question, I'm hypothesizing here a little bit. We're kind of at the far north end of the county. Justin sits right in the middle of the whole Alliance Gateway.
Yeah.
I mean, any young yuppie who wants to eat good farmer market food down there in the big, is it getting you? You're okay.
I don't like wasps.
Yeah. She's trying to get in out of the cold.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking it's not so much a community issue as it is just the broad reach
Yeah.
that puts around. So I would just, I think there's a little bit of difference just by what the demographic and the density around Justin. We're going to get there. I mean, you see a lot of lots on the ground. I know you're plugged into the housing market around here. So I think we get there. I don't think it's for lack of interest by the Sanger community. I just think we're a little smaller and you don't have the surrounding area to kind of pull quite as many people from.
Well, our Tioga market that we do is every other month, and we have about 600 or 700 people that show up to that one each month.
And that's kind of to Councilman Billy's
The-
question is, do you make it a little more special by spreading it? And again, we're not in your business, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of it's a good marketing question. I mean, us business guys, we'd like to sit here and talk about it all the time and kind of solve all the problems, but
And Sanger,
get in your business when we shouldn't. But anyway,
Sanger's the only one of our 4 markets that's SNAP approved too. So just throwing that out there.
interesting. That's interesting. Does that get marketed because, like, there's a food pantry, a mobile food pantry out of the church, and there's what used to be First Refuge, but is now kind of food and clothing out of the house across from the church, and then there's also Linda Tut's. But those same people that would qualify for SNAP, I mean, a flyer in those places, I bet they don't have. I don't bet they don't even know. I don't know. Maybe they do somehow. But that would be real interesting. That'd be another marketing outlet for you. So.
And we just actually got Double Up Food Bucks too, which I don't know if y'all are familiar with that, but anybody who uses SNAP at the market, we will match that money up to $30. So they essentially get $33 too. So we just started that this year.
Yeah, I think marketing at the locations that are currently serving those that would be SNAP qualified would be a really great idea. And I think it would meet a special need. There is some demographic stuff happening also in our town that I think that kind of addresses a need.
Yeah, and you may drop some of that marketing off to the school district as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
To send home with those kids, that would be good. And you know what? Teachers can come out and shop too. That'd be good for them. And the
Well-
little magnets going in the teacher's lounge probably would be good.
Yeah.
So I think the ISD could be a big help for you.
The backpack program, I imagine they would put a insert in their little backpacks
Okay.
that go home with the kids. That would be qualifying for the same thing.
And for the record, none of us are marketing people. We're just throwing
Ideas.
stuff out there.
Yeah.
Quick question I did have. Have your numbers increased or decreased since you moved out from Stephen Baker Lane?
Increased,
They have increased, okay.
yeah.
So the location is better than what it was?
Yeah, we averaged about 250 people each market at the Stephen Baker Field.
Okay. How about it's increased from there?
How are the other businesses around doing during the market time? You know, like last year Nancy came in and spoke. I mean, not that I'm expecting you to know concrete
Yeah.
numbers or anything, but just reviewing and seeing, does it look like they're making it around to the other businesses as well?
I've talked to two people before this, and it was Papa D's, Diego at Papa D's, and then Julio at,
Philly,
yeah.
awning
Vintage
plant.
variety?
Yeah, yes. And they said if we're busy, they're busy, is what I got essentially. So, I mean, Julio has started making breakfasts and stuff, which is great because we don't have any food trucks, so people can go over there, and he advertises whenever we're open. So that was the feedback I got. from
Okay.
him.
I'm completely for Councilman Billy's idea of giving another year of reducing the fees.
Well, I threw that out there just so we could talk about it and see what was on your mind.
Well, it's everybody supporting everybody, and I think that's a win-win.
You know, we want a farmer's market, we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Is there any other-
Other questions? I see Councilwoman Barrett's doing a lot of calculating in there. She's doing a lot of calculating and looking down there. She looks like she's still analyzing. So, I don't know if
Yeah, I
there's
mean, I
additional questions.
And I definitely want to be successful. I wish that, you know, the feedback we're getting now is that, I mean, everybody talks about it in passing and whatnot, but actually seeing numbers on paper, I want it to be successful. I want everybody to enjoy it, and I want it to be fair to the existing businesses, which I think are getting some benefit from it. But I kind of like the idea of if you can partner with some of them, and I would take that in lieu of a porta potty situation, right? That still meets our health. There's not anything on our end that says that.
No, I mean, it would not, but it would still be at your discretion as long as they have a solid agreement. I mean,
Let me ask that differently. Is that our own rule or is that a state rule?
it's state rule that you have to have facilities if you're doing food.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the reason I would be more, I mean, even if we were at fully phased in, if it's 500 for a porta potty and that's part of the requirement, well, let's just do 4,500 when we're fully phased in. Or if we're gonna lower the cost, I mean, we're keeping it low enough to maybe make the porta potty viable if that's what council wants to.
Offset the cost.
Yeah, I mean, we're basically doing the same thing, but
Right.
we're staying in alignment with health standards, because it's dollar's a dollar, you know?
If you take a look at the hours that the market is operating, a lot of your downtown businesses are closed.
Closed,
at
that's what I was
7 o'clock in the
talking about.
morning. Even the
Yeah.
restaurants and everything don't open until noon. So that is the reason why that is actually in there. We put it in there because we thought, tried to think of everything before we put that in the agreement. Hours of operations really dictate when those businesses will be open or with their restaurants.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I'd rather just adjust the, even if we were 5 years down the road and we said it's 500 for porta potties, 4,500, and, you know, you go spend the 500 over there and spend 4,500 to us or something. We can make those kind of adjustments to make sure we meet standards and still make it workable for you. So, that's a good question though. Other comments or questions anybody has? I
No,
think Councilman Bill, you was.
No, I just, we're going, normally when we negotiate with folks like this, I mean, sometimes there are situations where they come back and ask for some reprieve, but we still have to go up a little bit. And, but I still think that's incentive for you, for next year, or you take this entire year to really do a robust marketing of your choice. But there's a lot of opportunities here, but if you're not getting what you need, maybe that should be compacted a little bit.
I've already
And-
signed up for marketing classes this year,
What's
so.
that?
I said I've already signed up for marketing classes to help with this.
Well, let me know how it goes. I may want to sign up for
Yeah.
that too. But I think that I think we can help, and I'd be willing to do the 3,000, 25, and then this year 3,000. That should help
Yeah,
some
yes.
if you're good with that. And it'll give you time to work on ways to maybe reduce the porta potties, or we can offset that in the future. But bring those ideas to staff and vet them out beforehand instead of right here. I think that you'll see. I really believe staff is, they no is not the first response. 99% of the time, it's how we get to yes. And it may be no what you're proposing, but have you thought of this? Sort of like what we're doing here.
Yeah.
And I think staff does a really good job of that. And I'd encourage you to start early and visit with them about that. Throw ideas out. In this situation, there's no bad ideas. See what you can do, what we can support, and go from there. All right?
Okay.
And if one of your vendors is a pest control, send them over here to staff, and we'll try to get this place fumigated. Yeah. So, if, Mr. Mayor, are you looking for?
Yeah, I'd like a motion if you'd like to make one.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion that we renew the annual facility use agreement between the City of Sanger and the Farmer's Wife's North Texas LLC, DBA Downtown Sanger Farmers Market, with the only amendment is to the annual price. The new price is supposed to be $5,000, and I'm proposing $3,000, and all the rest of the agreement stays the same. And authorize the city manager to execute said agreement.
Got a motion by Councilman Billiard. Do I hear a second to that motion?
I'll second.
Got a motion by Councilman Billiard, seconded by Councilman Gann, to renew the annual facilities use agreement between the City of Sanger and the Farmer's Wife, North Texas LLC, DBA Downtown Sanger Farmers Market, and authorize the city manager to execute said agreement with the one modification that the renewal price be $3,000 in lieu of the stated $5,000 that's in your packet. Any other discussion? All in favor of that motion indicate by raising your hand. Passes unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Item 6 is consideration of possible action on resolution 2025-20, appointing a member to the library board. One of our appointees, after getting in the middle of it and some other obligations, had to bow out of the position. We had a second application that was already in place, and so you see that in your packet here, and that's what we're recommending as the replacement for the position that had been appointed previously. Just needs a new appointee in there to fill one that had to step back. What's your pleasure on item 6, council?
I'll make a motion that we approve resolution 2025-20, appointing, oh gosh, I almost said the name wrong. How do I pronounce this lovely
Yeah.
person's name? I don't want to butcher it.
No, I don't. Nalani Pinart.
Is she here?
I don't think so.
Okay, great.
Nalani. I would say Nalani Pinart. She approached librarian about being interested, so I think there's some background there. So there's a connection. It's not an individual that I know or called around to try to get.
She just said,
Laura was unable to be here.
I just said
What's that?
Laura.
Laura
Laura was
wasn't
unable
able
to be here tonight, but she has
She's-
spoken
Yeah.
to the potential board member there who
Yeah.
said that they can commit the necessary time.
When we were doing the appointments earlier, just by way of background, because we hadn't had any, and I'd asked staff to look around at trying to get people. In the interim, I was asking around, and got somebody that was on board and said yes. That individual, after being in the position just a little bit, has had to back off. So this person was one that Laura had gotten to visit with. That kind of
Yeah.
came in right after the other was worked on. So
Right.
anyway, so she's interested, and she was next in line, and so that's queued up. Yeah. So
Okay,
Councilmember Garrett,
yep,
I will need to edit that header in the resolution. If you would
amend
allow
my
that
motion.
in your motion, I would
Absolutely.
greatly appreciate it.
Okay, so I'd like to make a motion to approve resolution 2025-20 with the minor edits to the header.
With the amendment to the header identifying that this is a library advisory board appointment.
Identifying that this is a library
yeah,
advisory board appointment.
yeah.
And appointing, Ms. Malani as, to the board.
Thank you.
No second?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, I see the need for that. Hadn't caught that before. If you look at the resolution there on the header. All right, so I have a motion. What's that, Bill, you said?
Yes.
Okay. I've got a motion by Councilwoman Barrett, seconded by Councilman Bilyeu, to approve Resolution 2025-20, appointing a library advisory board appointee, Nalani Pinart, and making the adjustment to the header there on the resolution, reflecting that motion. Any other discussion? Okay. All in favor of that motion indicate by raising your hand. Passes unanimously. Thank you. Any future agenda items council would like to mention to staff at this point?
No, but Mr. Mayor, I do have one comment I'd like to make.
Okay.
Some of you may or may not know this, but earlier this year, our city manager, Mr. Noblet, was recognized and received a national award, being one of the top 10 city managers in the nation. And I just wanted to tell him, one, I've been remiss for not bringing this up sooner, but I really appreciate everything you do for our city. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Absolutely. Mayor, I do have a couple of items. We are working with the EDC on potential ballot language for MDDs, as we discussed, to
Okay.
bring to you for consideration. And then we have no, to date, we have no real business for the December 15th meeting. And it offers us the opportunity, if the council so chooses, to not meet on the 15th and just conduct our business when we get back in January. If the council has no objections to that, we'll post that there will be no meeting on the 15th.
I think that's our
I don't
first
think-
day off.
Yeah.
Do you need a second for that?
Yeah, I would just say, I'm sure council's probably fine with that. I don't know if we wait to post the lack thereof until we get a little closer, make sure some big hairy deal doesn't
Yeah,
come to the forefront.
which will be this week.
Whatever.
It will be this week.
Don't
Yeah.
jinx it.
So
Yeah.
Thanks, Mayor.
we'll know really by Thursday or Friday.
Yeah,
because we
that's
usually
good.
post a week in advance.
Yeah.
But right now, it does not appear that there's a need
Yeah,
for that.
okay. Anything else council would like to mention?
No, sir.
Okay, you've got your informational item on the Atmos rate filing docket there, which is just fairly normal and routine. I don't think there's any probably comment on that. Okay. Seeing no more items on our agenda, I'll call this meeting adjourned at 7:44.